Welcome back to the meeting, everybody. I'm glad everybody showed up. I hope everybody had fun. Um, here's what I want to do. First of all, I want to see if we can talk about everything that we got done. If anybody has anything that they finished or they're working on or they're almost done with or they've started or whatever, just to keep everybody on the same page, I would like to hear from everybody and kind of see where everybody's at. Does anybody want to volunteer?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Go for it.
Right. So in the last week, I got the shared library set up,
Okay.
which is just a prototype right now. Then I also refactored Adam down to just over 200 lines. I also moved some of his code into a core file, which can be shared by the faction leaders and no other bots. So basically, it was a lot of refactoring on my end, but yeah, I couldn't get, like I said, I couldn't get Adam running on my private server last night because of the PHP. So I'm just going to wait until the I forget his name. I just call him JD until he gets the server converted to Node.
Okay. Do we know what the timeline is on that?
Sometime within the next week, I think.
Cool. I don't see that on the list, so maybe we should add that just because I know we talked about it, but I wasn't sure that someone was actually working on it.
Yeah, there's definitely someone working on it. J Dyer or something. I think his username is.
All right, so I'll add that to the list. PHP backend to Node. Cool. Yeah, because I know everybody was going through it. Cool. It sounds like you got a lot done, dude.
Oh yeah, I really pushed myself. He's doing it a lot. He's doing a lot more than me.
Adam, I'm happy you got Adam done because that was probably the messiest of all the bots. It's good that it's shared.
Yeah, there's not much in there though. Right now, there's joining a faction. There's check-ins. There's giving crystals, and there's seeing your stats. That's about it right now.
Okay.
I cut everything else out just to get something basic working.
Okay. Perfect. And then we'll figure out the next steps after all the base stuff is working again.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else?
Not that I can think of. Adam can work on my laptop, but I don't want to leave my laptop running 24/7, you know?
Right. We have a server running for the game. If we need to put a bot up to test in the test area, Jonathan could do it.
Yeah.
He has access to it.
Okay.
So if we need something to run, it's already paid for and up and running and everything. But if without the back end, I don't know what it would do. So, okay, cool. Does anybody else want to talk about what they got done? All the volunteers. So many people. Don't all talk at once. I see a whole bunch of stuff in progress, but I'm not really seeing...
Someone was working on a blackjack game for Messiah.
Yeah.
Someone was working on I forget exactly. There was something else someone was working on.
Yeah, that was Bytes who was working on the blackjack game.
So that's something we need to actually discuss. So real quick, let me share my screen. Okay, so can you guys all see Trello?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so this kind of helps us all see where everything's at. So it's really important that we keep all this updated. But here's the thing. I've noticed that some people added stuff to the list that like we didn't talk about. And I feel like it's really, really important that one of the reasons we have these meetings is so we can talk about stuff and discuss what to do and where to go. Because sometimes crazy things happen. Some stuff doesn't work. Design decisions get made. this person thinks this person thinks that. If we all just kind of do whatever we want to do, it's going to be really crazy. To be honest, that's why all the code is messy anyway, because I just did everything I wanted to do. So that's why we ended up with the mess of the code that we had. So whenever we add something, we kind of have to bring it up in a meeting to add there. I'm outside of like for rewrite back into JS, something like this, there's 1,000 things in this. So if you need to add stuff that's like part of this or something like that, feel free to do that. But as far as like new features and stuff, like I know we talked about the dealer, but I don't think anyone ever actually like we actually all agreed on it. For this specifically, like I don't have anything against it, but it's just like, one, we got to make sure if it's in the vision of the game. Two, that is probably not even remotely the highest priority stuff that we have to work on right now, right? So we just have to make sure that we're all on the same page. So please, 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 if you're working on something or whatever it is, keep this updated where your stuff is. If you haven't started it yet, if you're working on it, if it's done, just make sure that it's updated so we can all kind of glance at this and see where everyone's at and what everyone's doing, because it can get kind of chaotic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, was there any issues or anything else that anybody ran into, any problems or any questions that we want to like throw out there and ask and talk about?
Yeah.
Go for it, Jonathan. What's up?
Okay, just dungeon. Before, like... Oh god, the dungeon. Okay. So, I've been wondering, what should we actually do for the dungeon? So, in the design doc, I like the idea, but, I should probably post a design doc here, but...
Yeah, post in the chat if you can.
Basically, if you go into dungeon and then presentation. But yeah, I like the idea. We could then maybe... This would not like go with like a tiled tour system, which then my direct connection thing would probably work better, question mark, for the bigger rooms than smaller rooms. But yeah, unless we're gonna do some back end stuff to make them bigger or something as an image. Yeah, if we want to go with like solely tiles.
Do you want to summarize the situation for everybody that may not read the whole thing?
Basically, we're trying to get some visual map for the dungeon system I'm making.
Okay.
Well, with like a bunch of other people, but yeah. I
like
I
the
don't
map
know
idea.
what to do for it though, to be honest.
In what way? Like specifically?
Basically, the back end the dungeon system itself I feel have to like help the front end system to make it all work together and render.
Right.
The back end should accommodate that though. So.
Okay, so you were working on the front end and.
Not front, mainly just like back for the dungeon back, but not actually the PHP back.
Okay. All right, but you were working on the stuff that actually gets sent out to the player, right?
Basically the bot, I guess. Yeah.
And then who was G-Man was working on the
map
generation?
Yeah.
And you guys have been working together?
Honestly, not much.
Okay, so is there some incompatibility between what he's building and what you're building?
I don't know, and that's the scary part.
Okay, so step one would be to coordinate, right, between you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would do that because I saw he had like some kind of ASCII thing going.
Mm-hmm. It's going with no image gen right now. It's like we all decided on Discord, so.
Can you develop something that reads that and works with that?
Wait, I think he's making a JS bot now that does image manipulation. Wait. Yeah, I think he's doing that now.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons why we need everything on the Trello. I see it on the Trello here, but it's not. You guys need to coordinate, right? Because it's two independent systems. So he's not here. Do you want to reach out to him after this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And you guys can figure that out. Does anybody have any suggestions or anything on how to how to move forward with that.
Yeah. Nothing?
I think the dungeons are actually a low priority, personally. Even though you're focusing on it really hard, I don't think it's the core to the Sanctum experience.
Fair enough. Okay, so the reason why working a lot was when, I don't know, around the 3 months after like it shut down. It's like I guess it would make like the relaunch at least big. So yeah, that was like, hopefully this will be like a good feature for like players to enjoy. But yeah, it's been a long time. I
So,
hope we can not be players disappointed.
On that real quick, because one thing I would say is like, it was a high priority because everything else was working before, right? When it was just me and you.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing outside of the Ravage. That was the only thing that we needed to do. We needed some kind of end game thing because once players hit level 30, there's nothing else to do. But now that we're rewriting everything and kind of developing all this differently, I kind of agree it's not super high priority at the moment. I think we should get everything up and running. But I do think it's going to be core to the end game type of experience because otherwise we run into the same problem the game had originally, which was once you hit level 30, there's nothing to do. And it's just the same stuff over and over again. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Think it's something we should worry about right now, or?
Honestly, I wanted to drop in exchange for like getting like I don't know, the refactored code done. Sorry, lost track of time converting the code.
Good. JD, you were working on the change from PHP to Node on the server, right? Okay. Sweet. So we got you right here. Oh, it is right here. No.
Oh, yes, yeah, okay.
I completely missed it.
Sorry, I didn't notice it was here.
Yeah, it's right there. Okay. All right, perfect. So, Jonathan, what I would say is like, if there is something higher priority that you feel you can help with, you feel like you can make it happen, maybe pick it. I don't think that it's bad to work on it now. I would just be careful because there is going to be a lot of changes and stuff coming. So if you want to coordinate directly with G-Man and figure that stuff out, it's probably better to do earlier than later. But as far as development, I think it's up to you if you want to continue working on that. Because I know you've been working on it for a long time, and you're probably the most qualified person to actually finish that system because you built the whole thing.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions, concerns, problems that we ran into this week?
Oh, there were a bunch, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Nothing show-stopping, right? That just halts your progress, or?
No. JD just mentioned that his requests are being changed into JSON responses.
Okay.
So just thought I'd bring that up.
Okay, so that's going to require changes on all the bots code then.
Yes. Or
yeah.
if you change on the bots, then changes to someone's send module utility thing, a data request module. Actually,
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you doing with that module? Because I'm not sure that's a good idea right now, considering we have the shared stuff, and we might as well implement it in there.
If you can basically turn the JSON responses into JSON objects, that would be really pretty good, actually. Also, the argument order. This is a nitpick, but the arguments are like
Oh yeah.
they're out of order. That's driving me nuts. Either you fix it or I will.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Don't think I'll be touching the code soon, so yeah, feel free to do that.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Where are we at on, like, as far as progress? Like, you said you went through Atom, but you couldn't get the back end running. Are you going to continue working on refactoring some of the bots, or are you going to try and are you just going to wait on the back end for the JSON one?
A bit of both. I want to split Atom into the 3 faction bots.
Okay.
And then refactor it, get the copy the dialogue over, refactor the dialogue a little. And basically I want to get Atom and the faction bots done. Once those are up and running, even if it's just off my laptop, I'll be happy.
Okay, cool. You think you get those done in this next week?
Yes, but once JD pushes his server thing, I'm gonna start work on to integrate the server changes into the bots as well.
JD, are you changing everything over exactly how it is, or are you rebuilding an API basically from scratch? I know you were changing a bunch of commands. I saw that.
He's doing both.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was needed. Just the way I was doing that was hacky.
Oh, another nitpick. Basically, your web address is hard coded into the data request module. I'm going to move that into the env dev file. So that I can easily
change.
Sure.
Like switch it to localhost.
That's a good change, and that way, if anything ever happens, we can change the web address or whatever.
Yeah.
Move servers with ease. Yeah. Originally, there was a lot of stuff that was hard coded that we changed too. Like the keys were hard coded. Everything was it was a mess. Crazy. Get this up and running as fast as possible. Hack job. But everybody has been so helpful. It's been so awesome to see it all kind of come together like this. I haven't heard anything from any like the writers or the artists. I saw, was it G-Man that did the new icons?
Hey guys, I'm here now. So I did the faction icons.
Right.
Get who else? One other guy offered to do the other icons, and so I was just like, yeah. So I did the faction icons. You can do the rest if you'd like. So he kind of took that over.
Okay.
I don't know his progress on that though.
The one thing I was going to say on the faction icons is that they should probably be the faction colors, but I saw you did that afterwards.
Yeah, and then we're looking when the other guy finishes the other icons. We're just looking. Once he finishes those, we'll group them all together and then see, like, we'll make style changes and whatnot to match.
Do we have anywhere we can look at the other icons? Because I saw them pop up in chat, but I think they're lost now. You know?
I'm not sure. I can mention the guy and see if I can get him to group them all together.
The Google Doc is mainly for the writers. Okay. Yeah, I see the icons in here, but I mean, it's not a bad idea to put everything together. I think that would. I like how you guys all set this up with the whole comments and stuff on the side. It's really helpful. Cool. G-Man, did you run into any issues or any questions you had or you wanted to run by anybody?
Not really right now. I actually, as a progress update on the map generation, I don't know if you saw, but we decided not to do the ASCII map generation because it wasn't really fitting in well with the design. So now I learned JavaScript and I'm working on image manipulation to actually generate squares as like the whole dungeon.
That sounds cool. We were just talking, I don't know if you were here, but we were just talking with someone about how he's building like kind of the whole front end to the whole dungeon system. And what?
Yeah, I just got here like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you guys should probably coordinate on figuring all that stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's the only thing I would have to add. Cool. Any other issues or things you want to throw out there?
Not yet. So good, or so far so good.
Cool. Do we have anything from any of the writers? Writers meetings have been taking place. Wednesday at 9 p.m. Do we have like a progress update on whatever? I mean, I see a ton of stuff in the doc, but Anybody want to update us on where that's at?
I haven't seen the doc lately.
I see it doesn't. I mean, I see there's a bunch of stuff that I wrote, and I see some random stuff here and there, but I would love to see if any of the stuff, because writing is going to be the core of the content creation. Mostly the backstory.
I marked a bunch of the dialogue with to-do tags. So
Okay.
if someone wants to see the dialogue file, I'll just post it into chat in a sec.
Someone moved that to JSON, right?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, cool. That was a good change too.
Nice.
I built a really clever little thing that I'm quite proud of to handle JSON dialogues.
Sweet.
Dave.
Backstory is 90% similar to what you had. Modify it to fit the new changes. Some more notes from the writing meeting. I haven't put all the notes in that you got because we still haven't discussed last week. Okay, perfect. Just curious what you guys were. Okay, that's really clean. That's clean, right? So perfect.
Thank you. If you'll notice that some of them are actually arrays rather than just key value pairs.
Yeah.
When they're an array, the option is chosen randomly.
So much better than what I had. All the random code, randomly picking stuff. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that should be really easy for writers. And I assume you can add random amounts to there too. Like you can just add lines on the arrays.
Yeah. No worries.
That's beautiful.
Designed to be idiot proof, so yeah, I can use it.
That's perfect. Yeah, writers will have fun with that. Cool.
We actually need writers though. Are there any writers?
JD was doing some of the writing, I know. A bunch of people joined, but I haven't really heard a bunch from anybody. Helping, semi-leading, perfect. Yeah, so I mean, I think this is probably less of a priority than getting all the bots running, but it's definitely it's going to be needed moving forward because it's going to be the bulk of the content.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I want the main faction leaders and Adam working.
Yeah.
Program.
So JD, if you're working on the node server stuff, that probably takes priority over the writing. But I appreciate you leading the stuff, kind of being on it. It's cool. I wish I would have had this whole thing developed a little bit more before I just dropped it in your laps. Just here's 10 random ideas of what I think, and then boom, it's just. But I wish I would have. Cool. Does anybody have any other progress updates or questions or problems they ran into or anything like that? Out there? Okay. Feel free to pop in if you think of something. So real quick, is there anything on the board or anything not on the board that you feel needs to be there? Is there anything that somebody ran into that thinks needs to be done or anything like that?
Neil Rankin wanted to adopt one of the bots.
All right. What do you mean by adopt? You mean like take over?
Yeah, I figured each bot would have someone adopt it and then manage it.
Okay.
Oh, you mean
so I figured I could strip out the librarian, just leave it as bare bones, and then hand it to him, and give him the library API and all that. Just let him go nuts.
I mean, the library code should be literally nothing except a template right now.
Yeah, so the librarian was part of the old lore that I'm not sure makes sense in the new lore, so it's up to writers if the librarian even has a purpose. But
I figured we've advanced the clock by about 5 years. Makes sense to me.
Do you have any more notes, maps, lore document that you could share with us, Tim? Yeah, I have a map. This is It's actually a lot more complicated than I thought it was, because I was just like, I have this world in my head, but I didn't like put it all out of my head. So there's like so many nuanced little details that I like built that I didn't communicate properly. But I'm not like set on anything. So for me to document, I feel like would take way more time than I have at the moment. So I'm open to kind of just giving you guys the sweeps that I have. I give you the map, but we kind of went to the lore a little bit last time. Setting up a test server isn't as straightforward as testing it before pushing to dev. Yeah, so that's another thing. So we have the test server now. With the env file, it should be as simple as swapping out all the keys and all the room IDs and just being able to go between production and test pretty simply. So maybe we can keep 2 env files. Or I think that the actual live one, there's only 1 copy of. But everyone else that needs the test keys for all the test bots, just PM me and I'll send you the keys for whatever bot you're working on. Okay. Put some notes in, but assume familiarity with installing the website of feature Instagram. Less of an issue once I get it on Node. Maybe write some down. We can see what we can use. Yeah. Okay. Cool. There's a whole bunch of stuff on ideas, but I feel like we all kind of have our roles and we all kind of have the priority set up. Is there anybody here that does not have a kind of a to-do list or a task list or anything assigned to them where they want something assigned to them?
Dark Druid, you said here.
Dark Druid, what's your skill set?
You give me something.
You're
Being
an
a pain in
artist.
the butt.
We're gonna be nice. You would know me as an artist. Okay. What kind of art?
Armless women.
What was
Wasn't
that?
it the armless people?
Yes, he's the one who draws all the armless people.
Armless people. That
Yes,
sounds
it's disturbing.
like a new enemy type.
Please, no.
Oh my god.
The
I
armless
have,
people
I
that
have
run
a
it.
rule. I have a rule in my Discord server: no pictures of armless people together.
Oh yeah, I'm right there. Like, oh, I wonder who.
Okay, so we have a couple things for artists. One, we have. Let me kind of show, and you can tell me what where you want to go. We have in the main chat for the Hell's Gate stuff. We have these images which represent rooms. So they're kind of like, this would be like a picture of a locked door. This would be a picture of like a dungeon room. This would be like a rendition of a Ravager or a chest or whatever. These need to be done for this whole dungeon system. So basic room types. Someone, you have a list of the different room types, right?
Shoot. I'm not sure at this
If you
point.
don't, we have enough here where you could probably get started.
Yeah, I can definitely just pull some from the.
Yeah,
Jason.
so there's this. We have some, the icons are taken care of, right? The icons and the faction stuff is taken care of. What else art-wise do we need? I feel like...
I don't think sorry, go.
Sorry, you go first.
I was just going to say, I don't think the faction like character icons have been done yet.
Yeah, no, so they haven't. I actually bought these, and I'm okay with keeping them because they look good. But if someone wanted to redo them and could make them, as pretty or better, feel free to do that. I would love to have a custom set of them. But I think they fit really well. So these are like the primary visual of the game when someone pops in. So they're kind of important. But if someone felt like they could pull it off, I'd be happy to have them. There's the chat.
By the way, I uploaded the How they have the person there and the background, I uploaded that as like the red gradient thing. Also follow on with all other the reference NPCs too.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh god, I can't speak. Okay, basically I uploaded the faction like leader images and the
Oh, okay.
red with a gradient background thing.
Okay, you uploaded them to GitHub? Or
No, I think I just uploaded to the design doc because
okay. We have a Dropbox folder too if anybody wants access to that where it has all the pieces. Dark Druid, don't mind if I do. Which did you want? What did you want? The landscape stuff or the portraits? Character portraits? Okay. All right, so I'll create. Are you part of the Trello? If you're not part of the Trello, join and drag your name onto this card.
Oh, he wants to do the landscapes as well.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
I've got a suggestion. Personally, I picture the landscapes to be similar to tabletop role-playing OSR style, so black white line art. I think that would look really nice. Although that's just my personal preference.
Do you have a like a reference you could show us, like a link?
Yeah, hang on.
And Dark Druid, what I would say too is I would put the room type landscapes as a higher priority than the character portraits. But doing the basic ones I think would be cool to kind of look at next week if you can get some done. Mori looks evil. I'd say healthy. He does. He looks evil as shit. And I actually made him super sarcastic and super asshole because he looks evil.
Here's an example of OSR art. It's basically the old school Dungeons and Dragons style art.
Okay. That'd be kind of cool. Whatever we need to make sure that we maintain a consistent art style. I don't really mind what the art style is, but with the character portraits that might not fit super well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't mind. That's kind of cool.
I don't mind what you're throwing it out there.
Yeah, I think the it doesn't need to be like super high res, crazy photorealistic stuff. So, but I also think we're going to be limited by the artists that we have, by their art style. Not limited, but like, we have the talent we have. So, I think we should see what we end up with and then maybe go from there. If that makes sense. Maybe just minimize palette color choice, 8 to 16 colors. Yeah. Whatever you think is a strong suit for your style, I would love to see some like versions next week in the meeting. We can all talk about them and kind of go from there. It's hard to design a style from scratch, just like especially because we all have a different picture of what it should be, and then you have your skill set and what you could do. So I would kind of start with some basic stuff. Like, don't spend a ton of time making everything super detailed, but just kind of sketch stuff for us and see how it all fits. Would be my suggestion. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So everybody has roles. Dark Druid, make sure you pop in the Trello and assign your name to the two and the in progress, the room landscapes and the character portraits. Is there anybody? What was that?
I don't have an explicit role for this week. What do you want me to do? Get the faction leaders working?
Faction leaders would be great. And has anybody touched Grays and Mori?
No, we're leaving them for now.
Okay. Mori is pretty critical to the gameplay. Grays, I think is critical to the progression. So those might be the next two priorities.
Yeah, but not until the Ravagers are actually working.
Oh, that's who
Yeah.
Ravager comes first. The Ravager, absolutely. That was the whole reason we didn't relaunch, is because Ravager wasn't done. So I agree. So I would say 100% Ravager after that. And the system I had built for the Ravager 2 only allowed for one enemy at a time. If there's a way that we could make it to where multiple enemies can be live at the same time in different rooms, that'd be really helpful.
That might be possible.
I think it would really future-proof a lot of stuff.
As far as I know, my existing Ravager code shouldn't care, but
It could maintain like different stats across different rooms and different attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Because
that's going to be a challenge, of course, but I should be able to do it.
Because I noticed I had the Ravager in the Deadlands, and that was the only place. One, it was kind of limiting because that was like the only piece of content in the whole game. That's like all you did. You just attack Ravager. So I think there should be, just like the faction leaders have Adam's code, I feel like there should be different enemies that share the Ravager's code, just to spice things up, but longer down term. But then also, I think it'd be really beneficial, like especially for the dungeons later on, or for different places, if just Ravagers can spawn in different places. Because I noticed, like with the code I had, I'd have to run a separate bot every time for multiple enemies, and that could get really messy. So I feel like that's kind of needed if you're up for the challenge.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
And then in addition to that, there's a curve, a mathematical curve for where you give it a level, and then it spawns the stats of the Ravager in the PHP code, I believe. It took a long time to get right. I'm pretty happy with that. If you wanted to use that as kind of the stat generation.
Yeah, what function is it in? You know?
I don't remember.
The JS? Wait a sec. Where's my Ravager code? Is it the one with a bunch of shit? I forgot.
It's near the bottom of the PHP send data, or it might be send attack data PHP or something. It's been like months since I looked at it. I'm sorry, but it's a bunch of mathematical stuff where it generates stats. I think it might be generate stat from level or something like that.
Oh, that one.
All right.
But that took a lot of tweaking to get that place, and it fits perfectly with the level 30s and the making the enemies challenging. It took a lot of balance work to get there, so that might be a good starting point.
Okay, I'll probably move that into the bot then.
Yeah,
actually,
I think that'd be a better idea.
Right up, I'm going back to bed because I'm tired.
All right, sounds good. So real quick before we kind of call it a night and end it, does anybody have anything else they want to throw out there or share or ask or get clarity on?
Okay, I'm good.
Backend doesn't care how to make many enemies, just processes attack commands as they come in.
What backend are we looking for here? I need to get that. Okay, let's see.
StatGen code will be available in the backend as a separate function. Okay.
Skate, Traveler. That's a locked chest rooms, empty chest rooms, broken chest rooms. Ravager.
Chests.
Key.
I took chests out from the box. It's another thing I cut.
Okay. I'm assuming we're going to add that back at a later date, or what was your thought process?
Eventually, I just wanted to get things working.
Okay. You gave to someone a panic attack when she said that. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Because I promised everybody there were going to be loot boxes, so everybody kept earning them, and then I never actually built the loot system, and then I felt bad, and then we shut down the game. So everybody had a bunch of loot boxes without loot, and
yeah, the whole inventory system still needs building out.
that'll be good.
I'll do that once the server code is in JS, and I can go in there and modify it myself, and not have to worry about anything too much.
Yeah. So yeah, so once we get all the base running, then we could really talk about the design stuff and all the future of the game and the roadmap and all that.
Okay.
But right now, I think we should stay focused and not get too lost in any ideas or anything. The stat code is send post data.php. Yeah, because we send in an array. That's right. So generate stat purge in send post data.php. Cool. Have to use real money for loot boxes. Oh, and then someone, can you get Dark Druid a list of basic rooms that you have?
I'm not sure if okay, yeah, I can definitely do that. Not sure if they actually be in game. For example, the key room. I'm not sure if that's going to be like a thing because it's just an item.
All right, just send him like 3 to 5 confirmed rooms. Then.
Okay, Dan. Okay,
We'll go.
sure.
Have we thought about monetization at all?
I've given it some thought. My initial thoughts on it were either one, have some sort of like microtransactions based on some additional functionality, because the whole keeping it cosmetic thing I don't think really works for a text-based game. But I was thinking of like adding pets or like little things like that that people could tweak as like microtransactions. I was also thinking of paid areas, so like kind of like an expansion type pass where, for example, there was we have the Deadlands where Ravager pops in every once in a while, but there could also be a place where it's like a free for all type of like enemies keep coming until you die kind of thing. Stuff like that could be like an additional 99 cents or something, $2.99 to access, or a combination. I didn't want to charge directly for the loot boxes because I was originally going to tie them to gear, endgame gear, which would directly correlate to power. But then again, your power doesn't directly affect anyone else's like game. Like it's not a PvP game, so I don't think pay to win in that sense would be all that bad. But I wasn't planning on it. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Pets, maybe, or hell, maybe a PvP arena somehow.
We talked about PvP briefly. A lot of people requested it.
Yeah, exclusive side quests once we have a side quest established.
Yeah, I like what Fortnite does, where they have like the base game for free, but if you buy their thing, you get a bunch of like quests and stuff to do. That could be interesting.
How much would we charge for it though? 99 cents or $1 or?
I don't know. We'd have to figure all that out. But those are just initial thoughts. I think we got to get the base game up and running, and I have to see, because everything was changing and everything was happening so fast when the live game was running. I know one thing. It was a lot of people got addicted to the game. Like a lot of people were really into it, like way more than I thought they would be. So if we can recreate that magic with our whole system, we can have that kind of retention. I think we should figure something out. But I think step one is getting the base game and at least one or two end game activities down before we start expanding it.
Okay.
Depends on if it's quest by quest or an entire story set. I like the idea of a higher price pack, honestly, like a $5 or $10 pack of things. I feel like that would do better. I feel like I can market it better. I feel like I would sell more. Because especially since we're not part of an app store or anything like that, handling 99-cent microtransactions or something like that would actually be fairly difficult because a lot of the credit card fees and stuff are like 20 cents plus 1%. So we're talking about 20% of the entire purchase every time we make a smaller.
Can we do it through PayPal?
Yeah, PayPal still is 3.5% plus 20 cents. So, but also we could do like paid currency type of thing where you put $10 in, you get $10 worth of paid currency, and then you can microtransact with the currency. But yeah, I think once we get all the base done, we can figure it out, and then we'll also figure out how to work it all into the system. Highway robbery. I think people are really into the game, so I think there's a good potential for it once we get it all right. Anything else? Anything anybody want to throw out there before we get off?
JD, please commit your work. I want to see it. You don't have to push to Tim's branch. I just want to see something.
Cool. All right, writers, if there's anything at all to show next time, would love to see it in some kind of doc or something like that. Would love to go through it. Looking forward to seeing Dark Druid's art stuff. Looking forward to seeing the bots running too. I'll be around if you guys need me, but like I said, my role in this is kind of like a meeting facilitator person, not so much a developer anymore. But I'm around if y'all need me. Just let me know.
Okay.
Appreciate everybody coming out. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night, everybody.
See you, Tim.